Welcome to our deep dive into one of the most pivotal conflicts in ancient Greek history, the Lamian War. We often imagine the Greece of this period through the lens of the earlier classical age, a time of Athenian democracy, Spartan warriors, and the repelling of the mighty Persian Empire. But that world, like all worlds, changed. The very city-states who had stood against Persia would eventually find themselves bound to a new power, the northern kingdom of Macedon, and its charismatic, ruthless, almost mythical king Alexander the Great. But Alexander's empire would die with him, and in the power vacuum left behind, a fire would be lit. In 323 BCE, news echoed across the Greek world like a thunderbolt. Alexander the Great was dead. He was gone, the invincible warrior king, felled not on a battlefield by an enemy's hand, but seemingly by fate itself. Imagine, if you will, what must have gone through the minds of the Greeks. For decades they had chafed under what amounted to Macedonian occupation, forced to contribute soldiers to Alexander's endless campaigns, their own political freedoms curtailed. Now their conqueror was no more. Could this be their chance? Could the ghost of true Greek freedom, that ideal they had fought so hard for in the past, could it finally be resurrected? The primary players in this drama were almost destined to clash. Athens, always at the forefront of Greek independence, rose once more to the challenge. Think of the weight of legacy on their shoulders, the echoes of Marathon and Salamis fueling their defiance. They were joined by other city-states, all united against a common foe. On the other side stood Antipater, a seasoned veteran of Alexander's wars, a man who had held the reins of power in Macedon while his king conquered the world. He was no stranger to intrigue or warfare, and he would embody Macedonian might in this coming struggle. The Lamian War was a conflict of hard marches, sieges, and desperate battles fought across the rugged Greek landscape. One can almost hear the clash of bronze on bronze, the screams of the wounded echoing through the valleys. We have accounts from ancient historians like Diodorus Siculus, who tell tales of individual bravery and cunning strategy on both sides. Picture the hoplite lines colliding, the Macedonian phalanxes advancing with their long sarissas, a forest of deadly pikes. Chapter 4, the Fields of Crannon. The war reached its climax on the plains of Crannon in 322 BCE. Here the Macedonian war machine, honed to a razor's edge over decades of campaigning, met the resurgent but ultimately outmatched Greek forces. Antipater proved to be a master tactician, outmaneuvering his opponents. The Greek defeat at Crannon was a crushing blow, one from which their hopes of independence would not soon recover. What must it have been like for those soldiers, fighting for their homes, their families, only to see their dreams shattered on that blood-soaked field? Chapter 5. The Price of Defiance. The aftermath of Crannon was swift and brutal. Antipater, perhaps hardened by years of war, perhaps seeking to make an example, imposed harsh terms on the defeated Greeks. Athens, the heart of the rebellion, was dealt with particularly severely. Imagine the despair, the anger, the simmering resentment that must have taken root in the hearts of the Athenian citizenry. Their democracy, once a beacon of freedom, was effectively extinguished, replaced by an oligarchy that answered to Macedon. Chapter 6. The End of an Era. The Lamian War, though perhaps not as well known as the Persian or Peloponnesian Wars, represents a pivotal turning point in Greek history. It marked the end of the classical Greek world, the world of independent city-states constantly vying for power, and ushered in an era of Macedonian dominance. The dream of Greek unity, which had burned so brightly during the Persian Wars, was seemingly snuffed out. Yet, even in defeat, the spirit of defiance, the longing for freedom, these things would linger, waiting for a chance to re-emerge. Chapter 7, Echoes in the Ruins. Our understanding of the Lamian War comes to us through fragments of text, through the writings of men like Diodorus Siculus and Plutarch, who themselves lived centuries after the events they described. Yet, even through the mists of time, the significance of this conflict remains. It reminds us that the struggle for freedom is rarely a singular event, but rather a long and arduous journey, marked by both triumphs and setbacks. Outro, the struggle continues. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the Lamian War. The story of the Lamian War is a stark reminder that history is not a straight line from darkness to enlightenment. It is a messy, often brutal affair filled with twists and turns that can defy our expectations. The Greek spirit, though dealt a severe blow, would not be extinguished. The embers of their ideals, their love of freedom and self-determination would continue to smolder, waiting for the right moment to ignite once more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more historical deep dives. If you found this exploration of history illuminating, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Let us continue to learn from the past together.